3 minutes past 8 o'clock. It's time for business half hour. And we have the Nairametrics crew in the studio with us as well.
Oh, yes. I am Ifeanyi Atama. And it's a chocolatey morning.
Yes, it is. It is.
You'll find out why.
All right. We have Fermi Oyedike. She's the CEO and co-founder of LoshesChocolate in the studio. We get to know more about her in the course of the show. Ugo Dre, powered by Nairametrics. How are you?
Hey, very fine, my people. Very fine. How was your weekend?
It wasn't bad at all.
Great.
All right. Right, it was great. We had a good weekend. We had this economic outlook over the weekend where we discussed Nigeria's GDP, and it was a successful outing. And it was positivity all the way. So I'm happy at least a lot of the economic analysts that we have out there have positive outlook for Nigeria. And Bukola, do you know what the funny thing I learned about that event? Someone said that, look, Nigerians are the best at self-organizing. I never knew that. Like,
Really?
think about it. We organize things a lot. Like, I'm sure in your estate where you live, you have an organization. In your church, you have an organization. In the profession that you belong to, there's an organization. Like, Nigerians always come together to do things themselves. They actually don't need government.
True.
Yeah. And it's incredible.
Isn't it a plus and a minus though?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to take the positive sides of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, and it's the positive sides of it that brings about the amazing guests that we have on the show today. And why don't you do us an intro of this amazing guest?
Oh, yes. Fermi Oyedike is a co-founder and CEO of LoshesChocolate. We already told you that it'd be a chocolatey morning. We wish that you could see her face this morning. The fact that, she's on Zoom and on the radio is not doing her any justice. She's as beautiful as the name of her brand sounds. I mean, she's certified. Oh, I tell you. I mean,
Oh, my God.
she's also a huge fan of Classic FM, so it's a really, really beautiful morning this morning. She's a certified chocolate maker, so make no mistakes about this one. This one is homegrown and it tastes really, really good.
Oh, wow. Lagos, you got that already.
Thank
Chocolate
you.
maker right here in Nigeria. If you want to see her face, tune into our Zoom channel. It's very easy to get to it. Go to any of our social media profiles, any Nairametrics social media profiles. You'll see the link there. Click right in and we'll get you right into the door. Yay! Welcome, Femi. How are you doing?
It's great to be on the show.
Yeah, great to have you as well. Great to have you.
Yeah.
So let's dive right into it. Introduce yourself to Lagos. What's your company about? What do you guys do?
Okay, so I'm Fermi Oyedike. I'm the CEO, co-founder of LoshesChocolate. And LoshesChocolate is a single origin bean-to-bar chocolate company in Nigeria. So what we do is that we get cocoa locally and we process it into chocolate for consumers, fine chocolates, and also baking chocolates for those who are in the baking industry. So that pretty much sums up what we do. So we source cocoa locally from farmers, and then we process it into chocolate. You know that Nigeria used to be one of the largest cocoa producing countries in the world in
the 60s.
But that changed
we're having some
over
challenges
time. But anyway, we have it locally, so why not produce chocolate here locally?
All right, great. Looks like we're having a little bit of technical drag, but I'm sure it's going to come up pretty soon. Bukola, we're going to say something.
No, I was just interested, before she fell in love with chocolates, what exactly was Femi doing?
Oh, I've been in career for about 11 plus years. I was in human resources. But the honest truth, Bukola, is that this entrepreneurship thing has been calling me on for a long time, but I've been, very scared, and skeptical about the whole thing. So I first started off, my first entrepreneurship journey was with makeup, funny enough. I'm very sure anybody hearing this will just be like, what? Yes, it was in makeup. And then I sold Ankara for a bit.
Wow.
Then I did, I made cake for a bit. Whilst I was working on, also, it was just the boldness to step out of my comfort zone and do it fully. That was the question for me. And I I had to answer that call 2016.
Okay. So you decided because you're a certified chocolate maker. So
Yes, I actually, when I started, because I wasn't certified, I was self-taught actually, but I got certified along the journey. Yeah. So I think
so you mean
it
was after your 9 to 5 that you went for the certification?
No. I went for the certification just last year. It was
wow.
Yes, it was self-taught from beginning, and that's what makes me that's what makes my story more interesting, because my background is biochemistry, yes, so I understand the dynamics of food and how it works. But that's how you learn better, and you learn to make the mistakes, you unlearn them, you get better at it, and so that's where the fun came into the whole thing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Where you're coming up with recipes, you're understanding, because really, the art of making chocolate is pure science, to be honest.
Interesting.
Femi, what makes a certified chocolate maker?
Chocolate gave me that platform to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. What makes a certified chocolate maker? Like, what would they be looking for before you be certified?
Okay, well, you go to. I went to a school in Italy, and in fact, when I got there, I went to my products already. I was the only African and Black person in that class. Every other person was just about to start their journey. So when I went there, I went with my products, I went with everything. And, at the end of the day, I was even contributing with the facilitator. And, they got to eat the chocolate. They're like, wow, So for me, it's great to have, because now I have it like a plaque in my office, But what I'm saying is what has built Luscious Chocolate wasn't that. What built Luscious Chocolate is the hard work, the tenacity, the ability to just gear the entire thing and just go in head on, and build a company, because you're challenging the norm. Because the norm is that we import all or most of our chocolate in Nigeria, and we export our cash crop, which is cocoa, in its raw form. So that's what built Luscious Chocolate, not to certify. Because when I went into class, like I said, I went with my finished product, and then because it was a bean to bar class, and everybody was asking, oh, how do you do this? What do you do? If you have, because honestly, when you're doing a business like this, it's tough in any kind, but it's tougher even here because it requires a lot of other things as well.
All right, good stuff. So I was just going to ask you, Femi. Like you said, you've dabbled into a few other things. You said makeup before and then dresses, Ankara dresses before you now got into chocolate. So what was the reason behind that pivot? Why chocolate at the end of the day? Did you get an epiphany somewhere? Were you just walking down the road and you were like, this is it? How did it happen? Tell us that story.
To be honest, like I said, I've been running away. So I had this job I'd been eyeing, that I was going to start after I came back from the US in 2015. And I was working somewhere before, so I was going to change jobs, change career, and but it didn't come through. So I was devastated. And I'm a Christian. I started praying, and I couldn't even pray, to be honest. I was really upset and really, really disappointed. So the inspiration came from the Holy Spirit, to be honest. I had not seen making chocolates from scratch anywhere. I've always used already made chocolates, melted it into, I did cakes, like I said, melted it into cakes and things like that. So I started researching on chocolates, and I found out country in the world. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
We got you now.
Yes. So we used to be the largest cocoa producing nation in the world, but at some point we lost that because we lost focus. Yes, we started focusing on oil, and anyway, so I started researching, and I was asking myself, I said, okay, why can't we make chocolate if we have access to the major ingredients? I'm confused, and so I just I was more of like it was more of daring the system, more of like challenging it, like, why can't we do this? And so I just I just started. I started in the basement of my house, to be honest.
Whoa.
When I first started. Yeah.
So thinking about how you started, did you bootstrap with your own money, or did you like call friends? Oh yeah, I've started. Or give me money. Or let's start this stuff. How did it? I mean, give me that story.
The person that got the brunt of it was my husband though. So he was the one.
Just like last week, it was her husband.
And then obviously my family. No. My family, they knew it. If you're dashing me anything, you're dashing me money. I'm buying this. I'm doing that. It was gangster, to be honest. But I think I'm just the kind of person that when I want to do something, I just go head on. Like I do it, like I go head on, and that's just the way I am, So yeah, everybody, family, friends, they know the close ones. They know, they're like, this girl is calling again. She's coming here again. I was always handing out. Sorry, what did you say?
I said, of course, they believed in you. They would have tasted it before.
Yeah, they did. Even my former place, I'll give them samples of chocolate. They'll say, oh, this one, this one is like this. No, that one is like that. I was really dogged about it. From the inception, and even for now, I'm still.
You're still dogged about it. So you would ask anybody starting out a business not to actually start by taking a loan, because there's some people say, I would advise you not to start out on a loan. Just start with what you have. What is your take on that?
Because you're spot on. I always tell people when they ask me in my little 2 cents, just start where you are. Try to, and in there is where the innovation comes in. In there is where you begin to work around, because you don't have access to so much money. So there's like a huge, big wall in front of you. Instead of turning your back and saying, okay, we can't do this, you find a way to work around it. You find a way to navigate, and whilst you're doing that, you become more innovative, you become creative, and then you solve your problems imaginatively. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I feel you. Necessity is the mother of invention. When you don't have
access. I'm telling you, yeah.
Well, how are you dealing with the competition, though? We know it's no easy space to play in. International competition and the local competition.
The truth about it is that I've realized that like what Luscious Chocolate does is not like the average what you find on the shelves in the stores. So most of the chocolate we experience here, or I grew up eating, mostly like mass-produced chocolate, where there are a lot of additives called crack chocolate.
Hello?
Hello. We're trying to reach Fermi there. The way technology works, but we won't give up.
Yeah, the network. I think it's time for us to take a short break. And when we come back, hopefully, we'll get her reconnected.
Oh, hot chocolate here.
What we're trying to do is showcase the health benefits, the natural flavors of still making it.
Okay, we'll take hot chocolate here. And we'll be right back.
But Femi, you have to go over that again, because we couldn't really hear you because of the network connection. So when we come back from this, you tell us again if you don't mind.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Hot chocolate. Bukola.
Yeah. Yes, Femi's here. No, I won't lack any.
Yeah, so you won't. All
right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. After we'll take a short break now. We'll be right back.
Okay.
It's all good. So much fun on a Monday morning. But of course, we do all believe in miracles.
Yeah, we do.
It's a miracle to be alive. Every day you spend above ground is a beautiful day.
True.
Don't forget, it's Business Half Hour here on Classic FM 97.3 station plays every song brought to you in conjunction with Nairametrics. And we have Fermi with us this morning, co-founder and CEO of Luscious Chocolate. Welcome back.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. We're just talking at at the break about the role your husband played, and it's kind of interesting. You want to just share a little bit about that to Lagos? I mean, like how he helped retrofit some of those things. I mean, tell Lagos about it.
Yeah. Yes. So, a question, you mentioned the question where the person was asking what was my startup capital. So,
Yes.
because you don't want to get frustrated, you can decide you want to do end to end by hand, but you're going to get frustrated at some point. So there's just a minimum level of, investments you have to do, whether you like it or
Sure.
not. But because I didn't have that level of, I didn't have, well, after the baseline of investment, I didn't have more than that. So I had to fabricate some of my machines. And my husband is, like I said, is an engineer. So he helped with a fabricator to fabricate some some machines that I use. Yes. And they fine, they may not have the fluff that the buying
The foreign ones have.
machines from maybe Germany, or you go to Orile, they sell stainless steel. Can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead. We're getting you.
Okay. So in Orile, for example, they sell stainless steel food grade stainless steel there. Go there, and that's where we bought most of the stainless steel. And our machines are fabricated. Yeah. So there's a lot of local resource.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I didn't get that.
I said waiting there for Sokoto, a day for Shokoto. It's like sometimes you think you can't
that's
find
what I'm saying. Yeah. So when you're faced with a wall, what do you do? Do you just turn your back, or you become innovative and try to solve the problem?
So we go back to the challenges issue. If I asked you about the challenges you faced before we had the breakdown in our communication,
how you dealing with the competition? Local and international competition.
Yeah. So like I said, growing up, I ate mostly chocolate with a lot of additives and preservatives. Our chocolates are max 2 to 4 ingredient type of chocolate. So what we try to showcase is the health benefits of cocoa and also the flavor of the cocoa, while still trying to make it yummy, for you to enjoy. So it's the whole song. If you take a Luscious bar and you pick up any other random chocolate off the shelf that you grew up eating, there's a clear-cut difference in terms of taste, in terms of experience. So it's as the world as it is today, everybody's trying to eat healthy.
Yes.
Trying to find, wanting to know where their food is coming from. So all those things are important questions that most of our customers that buy Luscious, are particular about. So if you're a person that's particular about what you eat, you will be eating Luscious chocolate bar. Yeah.
That's a yummy answer.
Do we have the nutty flavor? I hope we have the nuts, the Luscious with the nuts.
Yes, we got some with nuts. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's my favorite.
All right. There are a few questions here for you as well from participants. And remember that if you want to be part of this show, you can always just log through our Zoom link, and we give you direct access to the studio, and then you can also see who we're interviewing and also ask questions. So I've got an interesting question here from Jude Tony, and Jude says, how do you go about manpower and technical know-how? I think that's a very important question, because manpower is something that we've often talked about on the show. So how do you go about manpower and technical know-how?
So for the technical know-how bit, I'm the technical know-how. I'm the technical know-how. But, and yes, for my machine, sometimes I'm trying to get a machine, I'm trying to, in terms of recipe, food and everything, I'm the person behind all of that. For manpower, as in what you're talking about, staffing, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I should think.
Yes, staffing.
Yes, staffing. So I just use an agency. I've been using the same agency since I started the business today.
Another interesting question here, though, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
All right. So another interesting question here. Sorry, I'm veering off a little bit from our typical, flow, but these are interesting questions. This is Basil Namdi, and Basil is saying that, he understands that there are often trade agreements that hinder development of chocolate industries in Nigeria. And I think he cited one between Cameroon and France, where perhaps maybe Cameroon is not expected to produce, chocolate because of France. Do you face any kind of challenges like that in Nigeria? No, right? All right.
No.
So, but do you have an export market yet in Nigeria, or your market is mostly local?
But for now, at the moment, my market is local, but we're looking to scale up at the moment. So we're raising funds to scale up at the moment. Yes, to capture the market, also international. Yeah.
So let's go into challenges now, right? Because your kind of business can be challenging. It's not easy, man. Like you said, you get your husband to help you with machines, and you're in a very.
It is not. It's not a bit, it is challenging.
Please tell us about it. What are the challenges? What are the unique ones? Let Lagos hear you.
Well, for every entrepreneur, Nigeria is a bit of a different climate. Let me put it that way. It's an interesting climate to work in. So now, let me drill it down to what I do. So I need to grind my nibs. It's called cocoa nibs. Like when you move the husk from the bean, you have the nibs. So it's the nibs you're using to make chocolate. You need to grind that for a minimum of 36 to 48 hours to get it smooth.
Wow. That's electricity already.
Yes. Just imagine the amount of power I'm consuming. You don't want to know. Two, in terms of access to equipment, machinery, because you get to a certain level of this business where you have to buy the specialty machines. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to buy it. So you don't have access to, there's no industry here locally that makes such specialty machines. You understand? So yeah, with the fluctuations in Forex, you can imagine the kind of capital that is required now to build your capacity. So that's second. Third is because the business is you also need to, as a country, invest in vocational institutes where people don't necessarily need to go to university, for people that are that are learning properly. So maybe how to maintain machines, how to maintain facilities that are like factories, not just people that are like, in quotes, bagbos, all those kind of things inhibit, in like an industry like mine, and then lastly, access to funding that makes sense. If I go to a bank, for example, what the interest rates are saying, for an entrepreneur, how does that encourage entrepreneurship? How does that encourage small business enterprises or business owners to keep on? Because really, for other countries all over the world, SMEs are the bane of their GDP. But us, we have so many SMEs, but we're not even adding value in terms of GDP. It's like we're not productive to that point where the GDP is impacted based on the fact that we're SMEs. And we are so many. We make up about 85% of what the economy is. And yet, we don't influence the GDP whatsoever at all. So
amazing stuff from Fermi here. Oh gosh, we have just a minute left. Even though some of the things Fermi has said here are a lot of challenges, but I do see opportunities here. I mean, like opportunities for people who can manufacture items that can be used to manufacture other things. People who can create stuff. Yeah, who can retrofit that. The opportunities are just immense here, truly, truly immense. And unfortunately, we are, towards the end of the show, right, Bukola? If I
yes, we are.
Yes. And it appears we just lost. It doesn't make sense. Fermi is back on. We're just gonna wait for her byline.
Yes.
But looks like the internet is pretty disappointing.
Oh, we can't even catch her anymore.
I was just trying to be talking.
All right, Lagos, not to worry. We'll try and get Fermi back on this show because I think Fermi has a whole lot more to share. It's not every time you get to see a chocolate maker, locally based, locally owned chocolate maker in Nigeria. So to the Nairametrics team, make this happen again. We got to get Fermi back, if possible, even in the studio, so that we can have a much elaborate show, because Fermi has a whole lot more to share. We haven't even gone through half the questions that I have here for her. Yeah, so Fermi, we're going to get you back on this show, hopefully, within the next 2 weeks.
I don't know what happened just now.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
What's your byline, Fermi? What's that thing that works for you? What's the mantra that works for you that keeps you going all the time?
Okay, I like Walt Disney because Walt Disney, I watch a lot of cartoons with my kids. So I like Walt Disney. I'm going to say a quote from Walt Disney. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So, yeah.
Which of the series
is
that? Which of the
and that's classic Walt
Disney.
Disney.
The Walt Disney himself.
Well, I like the classic ones. I love the classic ones. I like the Cinderella. I like all the classic ones. But I still watch the new ones with my boys.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Fermi.
Okay,
thank you. The pleasure.
That's it on
Yeah, thanks to all the participants as well.
We need to go. There's a lot of jamming going on this morning, but it's been a great show. We would say thank you so much for being a part of Business Half Hour. We get to do this again next week.
TCMS continues in a few clicks.
Hey, what's up with TLC?
Fermi, we should introduce you to Stanford Cito.
Bukola, thank you. I'm happy. I'll be happy for that too, because
we should introduce you to Stanford Seed. I think they're coming Tuesdays. Just try and listen in Tuesday 8:30.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Thanks to all our participants. So you guys, thank you so much for joining.